911, where's your emergency?
Hi, I am on Interstate 459, and there is a kid just walking by themselves.
Oh, hold on. Where on 459 are you?
I'm right next to the exit 10 by the Hoover Met, like to get off by the Hoover Met.
Okay, so you're before that exit?
Yes.
Okay, and were you headed southbound or northbound? Like toward Tuscaloosa or toward 280?
Towards Tuscaloosa.
Okay, and was the child on the left or right side?
On the right side.
Were they walking northbound or southbound?
They're walking towards Tuscaloosa.
Walking southbound? Or how old did they look?
Like a toddler, like maybe like 3 or 4.
Did you pull over with them? Are you still with them?
Yes.
Okay, are you with the child right now?
No, I'm not. I didn't get out of the car. I can see them though.
Do you mind staying and keeping an eye on them until we get there?
Yeah, okay. Sure, yeah.
Okay, what kind of car are you in?
I'm in a red Mercedes-Benz.
Is that a sedan or SUV?
SUV. I mean, it's a sedan. Sorry.
Can you put your hazards on for me?
Yeah, they're on.
Okay. Did you talk to the child at all, or did you say anything to them?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do they look like they're injured?
No, they don't.
Are they white, black, Hispanic, or Asian?
They're white.
Okay. Is it male or female?
I think it's a boy, a little boy.
White male? Okay. Is he wearing clothes?
Yes.
Okay. What is he wearing?
It's a white T-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper.
And you don't see any cars anywhere?
No, no cars are anywhere.
Okay. All right. What's your name?
My name is Carlee Russell.
And you don't see any injuries on the child from where you're at, correct?
No, but I can't really see them that good.
Okay. Try to keep an eye on them for the best you can, because I don't want you to lose track of them.
Okay.
All right. And do they have shoes on?
No.
No shoes?
Not that I can see. I can't really see that well.
Okay. All right. I've got them on the way, okay? Just try to keep an eye on them, but officers are on the way, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? You already know what it is and what time it is. If you don't, let me let you know who I am. My name is Anthony Simmons, and if you don't know what you're watching, you are watching Higher Heights. This is the only channel that stands for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And today, I got a topic for you that I've been hearing all over the internet, all over social media, all over every platform that you can go to. You cannot escape this story of Carlee Russell. Yes, Miss Carlee Russell from Hoover, Alabama, who supposedly or reportedly or allegedly, whatever words you want to use for all intent cases, was abducted. She called into 911 claiming that she seen a baby on the highway, a toddler on the highway, and that she stopped and kept an eye on the baby while the authorities was on the way. She placed 911 calls. She did everything that would seem natural if you were to see something like this going on. But on today, we're going to be discussing about this case, and we're going to be discussing your views, your thoughts, and your opinions. I want to hear them all, because as a man, I'm going to try to be as sensitive about this subject as possible. I'm going to try to look through it through both lenses, and I'm going to try to figure out what actually went on and what needs to be done about this going forward. A lot of people have a lot of opinions. I'm giving mine. It may be a couple of days late, but it's better late than never. So with this situation, I want to say this disclaimer first. This situation is a very serious situation, whether it's a lie or whether it's the truth. I want to go ahead and put this disclaimer out that, listen, abduction is very serious in the United States. Abduction is very serious all over this world. People are getting snatched. People are getting put in the back of vans. People are going missing. People are never being found again. So in this instance, we know that she shows up back at the house. So regardless, when all the facts do come out, when all the smoke does clear, we need to figure out what needs to be done about this situation. But I gotta do something first. If you clicked on it, you seen the title and you seen the thumbnail, so you know what you're about to be watching. You know what you're about to see. If you're new to the channel, let me let you know what you can do to the channel. Go ahead and hit that like, that subscribe, notification bell, because you definitely don't want to miss when I'm dropping content like this. With no further ado, let's get it. Now, the first thing I want to say, like I said earlier in the video, that abduction is serious. Abduction is very serious. And I don't want to make light of that, but in this situation, there's a lot of things going on that's very sketchy. There's a lot of holes in the story, if you want to say. There's a lot of things that just don't add up, or rather add up a little bit too much in Carlee Russell's case. First of all, let's look at her story. Carlee Russell claims to be driving down the highway, and she supposedly sees a toddler. She supposedly sees what is abnormal to anybody. If I'm driving down the highway and I see a toddler walking on the highway, that is crazy. Now, even in today's climate, what people have to understand, in today's climate where we know people do strange things, where we know the world is full of evil, where we know something can happen to you at a blink of an eye, if I saw a toddler walking, I would stop to see what's going on. Maybe not get out the car, but I'm at least pulling over. Or I'm at least driving slow to a slow creep, trying to see, do I see anybody around who's supervising this toddler? Now, guess what? In today's climate, yes, I'm a God-fearing man. Yes, I believe in God. But guess what? It ain't too many people that's going to get me to stop. It ain't too many people that's gonna get me to stop. I don't care if you're a good looking woman. Dang sure if you're a man. Cause let me tell y'all something, as a 6'4", 6'5" black man driving down the street, if my car stops and something happens mechanically to it and I'm on the side of the road, from my experience, ain't too many people stopping to check on me to see am I all right. First of all, I'm 6'4", 6'5", black man with tattoos all over me. You don't know me from nobody. So in today's climate, ain't a lot of people stopping like back in the day and saying, hey bro, you okay? Now, let's say women. It's not a lot of, I'm not stopping for even a woman in these days. We know the old setup. You see a woman out there with a hood pop and you think, oh, I want to be the nice guy. I want to stop and pull over. Those situations now have to be looked at through another lens because people are setting people up. So it ain't a lot of people that are willing to stop just for a regular person. So the setup sounds nice. A toddler, a baby, you know what I'm saying? On the highway, she calls in the 911, also places a call to her parents, saying that she sees a toddler. Okay, setup is nice. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, why would a young woman in her 20s stop for anybody else? Because it wouldn't seem natural for her to do this in today's climate. So the setup is nice. It's a toddler. She's a woman. Emotions. So yeah, she stopped.
Listen, I'm currently in a hospital. Whose baby is that? Anyway.
So she claims that she sees this toddler and stops on the phone with authorities while she's on the phone. Now, usually in this situation, the authorities are asking you, what do you see? Describe to me what's going on. There seems to be no imminent danger other than there's a toddler on the highway, but there's no imminent danger. Nobody around. Nobody is a threat. And the woman on the other end, the dispatcher, asked her, well, do you see any parents? No, she don't see any parents. She asked her, are you out of the car? No, I'm not out of my car. Now, here's the key point for me. Here's the point for me that I kind of look at as a man, because once again, let me hit this side note real quick. We are living in an increasingly emotional world. We are an emotional creature. We have feelings, we have thoughts, we get angry, we get mad. Those are emotions. And we're increasingly living in a world that's becoming more feminized. And when we deal with women get very emotional. So in order to view this show, we deal in truth, we deal in fact, and that has no emotion in it. Fact has no emotion in it. So, and that's usually what a masculine person does. A man does, looks through the lens of emotion. So I told y'all my disclaimer in the beginning, I'm not taking this lightly because abduction is real. Abduction is serious. Somebody is out there getting abducted as you're watching this podcast. So this is serious. So she says she's not getting out the car. She's in the car. She's just in eyesight of the baby. She's let this be known. Now, at some point between hanging up that phone call when the authorities are saying we're on the way. Now, it's a white baby on the highway. So you know the police is on the way. First of all, she doesn't describe the baby as white. You know these authorities is on the way, right? So she don't really have no need to get out of the car because even the analyst, even the police chief who given the video and given the press conference said, look, she traveled the length of 6 football fields while on the phone with the authorities following this baby.
Data from Carlee's phone, including her Life 360 app, shows that she traveled approximately 600 yards in her vehicle while she was on the phone with 911, stating that she was following a child. 600 yards. That is 6 football fields straight. 600 yards. Detectives continue analyzing data from Carlee's cell phone that was left behind at the scene. We enlisted the help of the United States Secret Service in conducting this analysis. Part of what data includes several internet searches in the days leading up to their disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, "You have to pay for an Amber Alert," was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "How to take money from a register without being caught," was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term Birmingham bus station was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted. There were 2 searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at Carlee's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert.
The amount of time span in between this was 6 football fields. That's 100 yards. That's 600 yards she has approximately traveled tracking this baby. Not getting out the car one time to track this baby. That's a long time, right? This is what he's basically describing. Then she doesn't get out the car. All of a sudden, when they say the authorities is on the way, now she not only had to decide to get out of her car, she decided to leave the one thing that could be help to her if she was getting out the car. Now, her car, her phone was left in the car. Her car was left running. Why would you leave the one thing, your one lifeline, to anybody if you were to get out the car to try to check on this baby? If you did decide to get out of the comfort and the safety of your car, why leave your phone inside of the car? So that's number one thing that's not tracking with me. You would decide to get out of the car after you followed this baby for 6 football field lengths. You followed this baby this long without getting out of your car. You got an eye on the baby. What is the reason that made you, after you figured out that the authorities were on their way, what prompted you to say, now I'm going to get out of the car without seeing the safety of blue lights? Also, if you look at the video surveillance of the eye camera that they got on the actual area where she was supposedly abducted from, there were cars constantly zooming past this area. Nobody else is stopping for the baby. Nobody else but Carlee Russell sees the baby. Nobody pulls over even once they see her pulled over or once they see her tracking this baby. Nobody else is pulling over. She's the only one with the heart to pull over. And even after she pulls over, I guess, nobody else stops to check and say, hey, are y'all okay? What's going on? Even if a black girl gets out to check on a white baby, somebody ought to be like, hey, you know, what's going on? It's a lot of red flags going on in this situation. But the biggest key point that I wanted to talk about, besides the hole in her story, which you got another press conference coming out where the police are saying, hey, she's got some unusual searching going on her phone, you know, leading up to this. She's got some unusual search engines that she's looking at to be able to figure out about abduction. She's looking at the movie Taken. She's looking up if you gotta pay for Amber Alert. Why are you looking for these things in your searches? That's a question that has to be asked. And it is very convenient for the abductors and the kidnappers that they just happen to kidnap you days after you've been searching all of this. You know, if she was abducted, if she was kidnapped, let's say for the sake of if this story is actually true, there's a lot of things that you have to look at objectively. Take the emotion out, take the fact that she's a female out, because with that being said, you're going to see a lot of females that come to her to feel, oh, we don't know, you don't know her story, that emotion. Because if I'm a detective, if I'm somebody searching for somebody who supposedly abducted you, I have to deal in fact. I cannot be emotional here. Even though I'm a man who has daughters, I have to deal in facts. Hey, anybody for the 205 area who likes to deal in facts, drop facts in the chat section right now. Drop the word facts in the chat section, because you know if you're not emotional, you have to deal in the word facts when you're dealing with a case like this. So with all that being said, okay, she gets out. She says she was snatched by a man with orange hair out of the woods or wherever he was. He comes out of the darkness and snatches her, right? This is not on surveillance. This isn't caught or anything like this. It's not nothing like this. So after a couple of days of intense searching, this girl shows back up at the house reportedly walking on feet. That sounds suspicious to me. It sounds very suspicious. Not saying that this is unlikely, like this couldn't happen, but it's highly unlikely that this could happen because most of the time these people ain't playing with you who abduct you, man. We see so many stories of people. It's only a 1 out of a million chance that you might find a person that's been abducted. Usually when you get abducted, that abductor, whatever he's wanting to do with you, or she or he or a group wants to do with you, they gonna do it. And at the completion of that, at the risk of getting caught, you not making it away. You're not getting away. You understand what I'm saying? If this person or peoples were strong enough to capture you, they're not letting you get away. And it's mighty funny that you show up walking back to your house. So they claim that this girl was fighting for her life for 48 hours. So you go from fighting for your life to being able to physically be able to walk to your residence. So this either means somebody had to drop you off close to your house, because wherever you got abducted from, if you walked home, you've been fighting for your life for 48 hours, you've been missing for 48 hours, that means you would have had to literally be walking for 48 hours home, or I'm missing something here, but you walk into your house. Now, the family at this point begins to give their side of the story of seeing their daughter. They're elated. Their daughter, for all intents and purposes, has been missing for 48 hours. They don't know what's going on.
What was it like?
To me, I mean, just so much joy.
This morning, in an exclusive sit-down with NBC News, the parents of 25-year-old Carlee Russell are speaking out, describing the moment their daughter appeared on their doorstep after being missing for more than 48 hours.
What did you do when you saw her?
We tried to hug her as best we could, but I had to stand back because she was not in a good state. So we had to stand back and let medical professionals work with her. But
last Thursday, police say Carlee called 911 to report a toddler walking alone on the interstate. She pulled over while on the phone with a family member who described hearing Carlee scream.
Her vehicle's unlocked, running. All her personal belongings except for her phone.
On the scene, police found no sign of Carlee or a child, and they say no children were reported as missing during that time period. The Russells waited in agony until Saturday night.
there were actually just so many calls and texts from people who maliciously lied to us. I just didn't know people could be so.
But if you notice in their interview, the only person that's doing the talking is the emotional side, the emotional creature, the female. And y'all want to know why I'm stressing on this female dynamic so much? It's because of that emotional intense. You notice this man, the guy ain't saying nothing, and that's usually how they want the man in a situation. They say we mean. They say that we have no feelings, that we don't have a conscience or whatever, like men don't have feelings. No, men have to look at things objectively. You notice this man, he ain't crying, he ain't distraught, he's only there to support the woman, and that's usually how they want us in 2023. A man ain't good for nothing but support, providing some good sex, and it's gonna be okay, baby. That's all they want us to say. And it's probably good that the man didn't talk, because he's looking at facts too. This is his daughter, by the way. He looking at facts. He ain't saying nothing. He ain't saying nothing because a man can see the facts. Now, the woman is sitting there, she's so emotional, she's able to cry at the drop of the dime. And you say, higher heights, yeah, she's supposed to cry at the drop of the dime. Her daughter was missing. But yo, listen, if she was gonna be crying, she was gonna be crying from the jump of the interview. But there's certain points in it that she's crying. She's able to drop those tears. She's able to say her daughter was fighting for her life. And everybody wants to say, well, she needs to get mentally healed, physically healed before she's able to give her side of the story. Say, no, she needs to sit back and analyze all the stuff she's done. Because let me tell y'all something about a woman scoring, because we're going to get into the facts of what supposedly led to this anyway in a second. But let me tell y'all something about what a woman can do. I always tell a man, there's nothing worse than a scoring woman. That's out there. That's a statement that's in this universe. It ain't nothing worse than a scoring woman. The Bible says, hey, it's better to sleep on the roof than to be in the house with a brawling woman. The Bible says it's better to sleep on the roof, for a man to sleep on a rooftop, than to be in the house with a brawling woman. That's biblical. You know why? Because a brawling woman, a woman with an attitude, a woman who's emotional, will stop at no lengths to get whatever goal she's trying to get accomplished, y'all. Listen, it goes back to that movie in 1996, A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Y'all remember when he was dealing with that crazy chick, Martin Lawrence was dealing with that crazy chick, and she started busting her arm in the refrigerator, hitting herself with a bag of oranges, doing all this crazy stuff, man. Yeah, women will do anything. And for the longest time in this world, even in today's culture, a woman's story is always believed instantly. A woman can call the police on a man. A woman can say whatever she wants to say, and people are instantly going to take her side, instantly going to give her the benefit of the doubt. It doesn't work the same way for men, y'all. I don't know. Drop it in the chat. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that the dynamics are fair in terms of a man's story and a woman's story? Do y'all think that women get more of a benefit of the doubt? Yeah, sure. I do here on Higher Heights. I know this to be sure. So the woman, the emotional vessel, is doing all of the talking. And it's probably best that she does all the talking, because guess what? She's going to corroborate her daughter's story. She's going to believe her daughter's story. And she's going to believe it so much that she's going to convey to that camera how it is. That man's not going to be able to convey that lie like that. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be able to tell a lie when he's looking at the facts in his heart. So he's just sitting there. If this is my daughter, y'all, let me tell y'all something why I don't believe this whole thing when I look at the parents' interview. I ain't showing the whole clip of their interview. If my daughter gets kidnapped and abducted, man, yeah, I'm going to be emotional. At that point, I'm going to be emotional. It ain't a camera in the world that I'm going to be afraid to cry in front of. It ain't no camera in the world that's going to capture me and I'm not outraged. I ain't going to even probably be in the interview because I'm out there looking for, where this dude at? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So let's get back to the fact that she shows up miraculously. She's the one in a billion that did not get killed, that actually got found. Actually didn't get found. She shows up. Nobody got to find you. You've been fighting for 48 hours, but you got the strength to walk back up to your parents' house, right? So you got the strength to get back. But you don't got the strength to explain anything that's happened. Y'all, I'm not trying to be insensitive here, but if you're that strong to fight your abductor for 48 hours and actually get away and actually walk from wherever you were at, because you didn't catch a ride, you didn't do anything like that, you were walking into your parents' house, then you should have the strength to actually talk about this, because after all, there's an abductor still out there. There's somebody out there that's a threat to somebody else. There's somebody out there that's gonna do this to somebody again if you don't speak out. And all of a sudden you need space. See, another thing about women is this, y'all. Listen, women have this thing to where these emotions, y'all, these emotions will cause them and say, oh, I just need time. I need time. I need time to get myself together. I get you've been through a traumatic experience. I get it may have been physically exhausting if you've had to fight your way on, but you've made it here now. You're the one in a million. You're not ready to tell your story. You're not ready to give details on who this guy is or how this person looks. You're not thinking about these other victims that are out here that could possibly be going through the same thing as you. It doesn't add up. And let's go back to your search engine. Let's go back to the fact that you got prepared with snacks and a robe and all these things. And only thing they found was all your belongings in terms of your cell phone. Excuse me. The one thing that if you would have had in your hand when you were getting snatched or abducted, you could have yelled, you could have said anything. You were way calm on the phone call, which you wasn't in imminent danger. You weren't in imminent danger. So I understand not being distressed on the 911 call. But why, if you decide to get out of your car, do you not have your phone with you? Why, if you're going to make the decision to get out of the car, you don't stay on the phone with dispatch operators? Now, some people say this was a cry for attention from her boyfriend or all of that stuff like that. And whatever the case may be, whatever the situation may be, I keep telling y'all, a woman scorned, they will go to any lengths. An emotional creature will go to any lengths to get attention, to any lengths to cry out for whatever reason it may be. Now, this is a smart, intelligent young black female from all accounts. All I can see about her history, went to UAB, looks like a medical student or something. I don't really get into the details of that, but it looks like she's an intelligent being. But obviously not intelligent enough to cover her tracks enough to have all these searches. It's very coincidental that somebody ends up kidnapping you after you're searching all of these things to do with Amber Alerts and being abducted and the movie Taken, because you're trying to cover your tracks. You're trying to make it look as real as possible. But these cell phones and technology, y'all, they not playing with you. You could even see how the detective was saying, look, we even tracked how long she was on the phone and how long she would have had to travel following this infant while she was on the phone with the dispatch. So, man, they not playing with y'all out here. You know what I'm saying? The technology gonna get y'all. But one thing about a woman, like I said, take the emotions out and look at this. Look at this for what it is. If this girl really lied about this, what do y'all think should happen? What do y'all think the punishment should be? Or what do y'all think the repercussions should be for somebody lying about such a serious case? Because like we said, people out here are really getting snatched, really getting abducted, really not being found. If you haven't liked the video already, go ahead and do that. Like, subscribe, share, comment. I want to hear what y'all got to think. What do y'all think about this? Do you think that if she did this and committed this heinous thing, where there are people really out here being abducted and she lied and it's found in the end to be like this is all fabricated, what do y'all think should happen? Because I guarantee you, if it was a man that did the abducting, if it was a man that did some lying like this, if it was a case of Jussie Smollett, y'all see what happened to him. They ain't show no mercy to Jussie Smollett when they found out his story was fabricated, when they found out he was making up something that somebody beat him up on the streets because of his sexual orientation or whatever have you, or it was racially motivated. They ain't show him no mercy. I feel like the same thing should be done here, y'all. I feel like that she needs some mental help. Anybody willing to go through to these links to get some attention or whatever, it was a cry for help. She needs some mental help, obviously. She needs to deal with whatever emotion that caused her to do this. The first step to that is her being truthful and coming out and giving her statement and letting us know what happened. You know what I'm saying? That's the first step to her recovery or whatever. But yeah, serious jail time needs to occur from this, because guess what? If you were vindictive enough to do this, there's nothing you won't do. There was no length you won't go to get whatever you want accomplished, y'all. This is serious, man. This is serious. I worry about my daughters every day when they go out. Just going to the grocery store, just being outside today is very strange, very weird, very creepy. You got creepy, evil individuals out here ready to snatch up your daughters. And I can't imagine that happening to me. Don't want to imagine that happening to me. You know, wondering what her parents going through. You know what I'm saying? Because then you got to question, you know what I'm saying? You got to have to start to question if they know about it. If they knew what she was finna do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she didn't want them in on it. Maybe she didn't want. But listen, at the end of the day, if it's found out to be a lie, then you don't know who was in on it. Who had something to do with it. So now you putting everybody else's life in jeopardy. So I'm interested to see what she actually says when all the facts, when all the smoke clear, when they've allowed her time to heal up, when they've allowed her time to get her mental in order. I'm interested to see what she got to say. Y'all, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. I want to know in the chat. I want to know in the discussion. What do y'all feel about Carlee Russell? Y'all feel like this is still a real story, that she really got abducted? Where's the child at in this incident? How come nobody's talking about finding this child that she described? Nobody talking about the child. Nobody. They did an intense search. There's no way they haven't found a lead to anybody that could have committed this crime. Talk about it in the chat, man. Let me know how y'all feel. Is Higher Heights being too objective, too mean, looking through the lens of a man, or is he being right? Let me know what y'all think in the chat. And let me know also, what do y'all think should be done about this if it's found out to be that all of this is lies and fabricated? I put the facts out there. I'm going to let y'all deal with it. Until next time, y'all be blessed.